Good evening, everyone. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science. Welcome to our self-healing class. Many of you are still signing in on Zoom, I see. So again, welcome. Welcome to everyone who's watching us on YouTube, Facebook, Insta, X. Many people are listening to us on Spotify, so welcome one and all. I'm delighted you're with us here this evening so we can explore our New Thought teaching, the Louise Hay work that many of us love. It's wonderful to have everybody here again. We gather every Thursday at this time at 7 p.m. and every Wednesday evening for our Creative Living series, which also starts at 7 p.m. with the same Zoom links. So keep the links, invite your friends. Every time we meet, it's an opportunity to deepen our understanding of our spirituality, to connect and grow with one another. Many of you know Louise Hay was a student here at First Church many years ago. She took the very same Science of Mind classes that I've taken and many others have taken. And she did her practitioner work here at our New York center. We were incorporated as First Church of Religious Science, and we've been around since the 1940s. Louise Hay was a very popular student here, I believe, under Raymond Charles Barker, and possibly Stuart Grayson, I think, also. I want to recount the points of her philosophy for a moment this evening. And her philosophy would have derived largely from the teachings of Ernest Holmes. In the opening of the book, You Can Heal Your Life, she'll have a section, I think it's the first 2 or 3 pages, which she says, the points of my philosophy, which I invite you to refer back to. I don't have the book with me. Somehow I always have it with me, but I don't have it with me right now. But I can recall most of them. It starts out with a series of affirmations or themes, which you'll see presented in the book. These are themes that we all can benefit from thinking about and revisiting. Louise taught us that when you really love yourself, everything in your life starts to work. So the thrust of a lot of her work with people who did not love themselves or maybe didn't love themselves enough is to learning how to love yourself without condition, to become your own best friend, to nurture yourself. And that'll tie into some deeper metaphysical concepts, which we get into in our teaching on Thursdays and on Sunday mornings when we meet for our lessons. So when you really begin to love yourself, things start to change because you don't have time for the pain. You don't have time for many of the things that you might be involved with if you're a person who reacts to everything. When you really begin to love yourself, you become more peaceful. You'll realize, in truth, there's nothing outside of you. And that's a metaphysical statement that I can explain a little bit. People have a tendency to be focused on what's going on in the outer, what people are doing, what people are saying, what's going on in different parts of the world. And we become what we call other referred. But in this teaching, there's always an invitation to pull all of that back and ask yourself questions such as, what am I creating this to be, this situation or this person? We understand in metaphysics that it all begins with us. So we can give our power away all day long to everyone and everything, or we can do it another way. Most people who get really involved in our teaching and the Louise Hay work in metaphysics realize that the work that needs to be done is within. And that's really great because once we start to inquire within, we'll realize that we're inlets and outlets of spiritual activity ourself, and that we have access to tremendous intelligence. Everything in the world is in you, operating through you. And we'll get at the idea that there is one energy, one power that's in everything and everyone, and it's in you. It's operating through you right now. And all of us are in a process and a place where we are evolving spiritual beings, where we're growing, and we're not here to judge a soul. because we realize that everyone's doing the best that they can as an evolving spiritual being. We all make mistakes while learning and growing, and we understand that. So we're not here to judge. We're not here to judge ourselves, nor are we here to judge anyone else. So most of us in this group are working on releasing criticism. What kind of criticism? All forms of criticism. We're working on releasing doubt, which Louise would have said are the most damaging patterns a human being can have. If you're highly critical and you have fear, doubt, and insecurity running all through you, those are the patterns that we want to work on. We want to start. Just for today, I will stop being critical of myself. Just for today, I will stop being critical of others. We begin wherever we are always. Raymond Charles Barker famously said, yesterday ended last night. And that's a saying, that's a slogan, which really means we can begin anew. And really we want to. If wherever we're lost, we want to gently, lovingly bring ourselves back and tell ourselves we are supplied and supported, because we are. And we get back on track. Anger and resentments and this whole critical aspect of our personality brings forth what Louise would call discomfort and dis-ease. See, if you're angry all the time and your whole body is, filled with anger and resentment and all that, you have to realize that's not going to bring forth the best outcomes for you. So it makes good sense that we want to release all of this. One of my teachers, Dr. Bill, said to me many years ago, we're in the business of trading in the lesser ideas for the greater. We're in the business of trading these negative places in our consciousness for patterns that are bigger and greater. Emerson himself would say we're here to hitch our wagon to the stars. And what Emerson was talking about was the same idea. We don't need to stay stuck in a rut. All of you, every one of us are spiritual beings, and we've come here to grow. We've come here to expand. We've come here to flourish. We've come here to learn. So we gladly let go of the lesser ideas for the greater. Louise also emphasized the importance of, again, self-acceptance and self-approval, saying it's the key to all positive change. So never, never, never criticize yourself. Accept yourself with every flaw, realizing that you are a spiritual being, you're evolving, you're evoluting along. Give yourself approval and work on that. Do a little mirror work. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I love, accept, and approve of you. Connect with your own image, your own face. Louise would say this is the key to all positive change. And she might usually add in some places, she would say, stop criticizing yourself. You've been doing that throughout your life. And it gets us nowhere that you want to go. Louise encouraged us to embrace this affirmation. Again, I love, accept, and approve of myself exactly as I am, because she believed that this is a critical step in our healing journey. Integrating the affirmations that we give you week by week, or any of the ones you find in her work, as you start to do this, you're going to start to see some profound changes in your life, your relationships, your health, and your overall well-being. So we want to take the truths to heart and practice them daily, knowing, again, that we have the power to heal our lives within us. The classes we have here in the gatherings are offered to everybody. We don't ever charge for anything. We offer what we do freely. For those of you who are in our gatherings or listening, who want to support this work so we can get it out further and further and help as many people as possible, there's always options in the chat room for people to make donations. So we support whatever. I mean, we're happy to receive the support that anyone who wants to support us. We're glad that we can offer the work we do freely. Our message for this evening is our life is our message. And I think most of you can probably figure that whole thought out. Our life is our message. The sum total of my consciousness is everything I've learned, everything I know. It's the totality of what we know, and our life is our message. And we're always doing work on it. We won't be finished until we're done. There will always be more to do. So our life is our message. Everything we think, we do, everything we feel sends out a message to the world, and more importantly, it shapes our reality. We're always broadcasting. Yes, you're always broadcasting, even when you're sitting in the corner. Our thoughts and everything we do, we send out. When we send the thoughts out, they're acted upon mysteriously, but they're always acted on. Each of us are wielding quite a bit of power. We don't think of ourselves that way, most of us, but we're powerful. Many of us might still have low opinions of ourselves. If you're new to the teaching or you're just showing up, we might have, maybe we don't love ourselves enough yet, as much as we would like, or we don't like ourselves enough as we'd like. But here's the thing that was told to me many years ago. You are one with this incredible power. You can never be separate. You're always going to be one with it. You're one with this universal presence. It is so deeply connected with you that it responds to every thought you think. It so loves you that it responds to your every single thought. This is exciting to know you're connected with Source. It's extraordinary once you really wake up and understand it. You sense it and you feel it. You don't have to beg for anything, but it's important you wake up and realize that you are connected to it and that it responds to you. It responds to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't miss a thing. Louise often said, how you start your day is how you live your day. Oh, listen to that. Louise said, how you start your day is how you live your day. And then how you live your day is how you live your life. That's something to think about. I'll say it again. How you start your day is how you live your day. How you live your day is how you live your life. So, keeping that in mind, if you're having one of those days where things aren't really working out very well, realize that you can stop right now. And I'll borrow from a 12-step program here. It's never too late to start your day over. So begin wherever you are. So we want to start today in this lesson with realizing it's important to have an intention. We want to start this day with an intention to live with purpose and to live with love. Louise, again, who is a practitioner here at First Church, frequently reminded us that love is the most powerful force in the world. And she said it's within you. It's operating through you, and it can never, never, never be destroyed. So this love, this divine activity is in you, deep at the center of your being, and it can never be destroyed. It's the truth of you. It's the thing that you want to celebrate. It's the thing you want to fan, the flame. You want to bring that forth, because that's the reality of who you are. Oftentimes that still voice is, we don't listen to it well enough, but it's always there, as Emerson would say, wooing you, attempting to get your attention. You might call this your internal guidance system. It's there. As you turn to it, it meets you. We forget it. We forget that we have all this power. We forget that we have this connection, this divine connection. When we abandon love, we may feel as though it's abandoned us, but the truth is that love is always present deep at the center of your being. It's always there waiting for you to embrace it, for you to invite it into your awareness once more. Remembering, that's what we do. We have these places where we get cut off, we forget, and we just, it's like we have a lapse. We forget who we are. We forget that we're children of the divine, we're one with it. And then we remember. So in the Louise Hay material, there's that phrase, remembering and forgetting. That's the game that we play. Many of us use affirmations throughout our day. I use affirmations. I have been for years. There's several I use all the time. And they're helpful. Many of you do affirmative prayer, once or twice a day. Some of you meditate. Many of you tune in here every week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. And we do it all because we want to connect with like-minded people. We also want to remember. If we get into a habit of attending or tuning into these types of lessons, these lessons are designed to remind you of how great you are, remind you that you are the most important person in the world, especially in your own world. We want to awaken to that idea that you are a center of God activity and you deserve the best. So we tune in here to take a pause. We tune in to remember that Spirit is all that there is. So we take these pauses, many of us throughout the day. We do these things that we do many affirmations, affirmative prayers. We do what we need to do to remember that this Spirit is alive in us and always, always responding to us. In her book, her most popular book, You Can Heal Your Life, Louise Hay taught us that love is what she called the great miracle cure. And she went on to say, loving ourselves works miracles in our lives. So take a moment to let that in. That was her phrase. Loving ourselves works miracles in our lives. So if you really love yourself, then you don't have time to complain. You don't have time to criticize yourself. You start to nurture yourself and honor yourself and treat yourself with a great amount of kindness and empathy. If you do that and let that all sink in, you might ask yourself, what would it feel like if I really truly loved myself and I wasn't critical of myself anymore, and I released the need to be critical of others? And what if I loved myself enough to be still and to know who I really am and to take a breath and to realize that I live, move, and have my being in this divine activity? What would that be like? To embrace yourself with kindness and compassion, the same kind of kindness you would maybe offer to a young child or a dear friend. This is where healing begins, to completely drop the critical thoughts. This is where healing begins and begins again. When we stop whatever it is, when we notice that we're off track, whenever we're off track, just to stop it, right? Mid-sentence, or if you're doing something, stop it and just say, I let go. Just let it go. It's not easy when you're in the middle of an argument. It's not easy when you're emotionally embroiled in a situation, but that's the work we want to do. We want to get to a place where we never, never, never criticize ourselves, and we stop when we notice that we're being critical of others. Louise Hay emphasized the point of power is always here in the present moment. So it doesn't matter if things have been done for years or whoever said what to whom. It doesn't matter. Whenever we're aware that we're in the middle of it ourselves, we stop. She would say, the past is over and done, and we cannot change that now. But we can begin to be free and live in a new moment. This is what I'm always talking about. You can be free right here, right now, to be here now, in this new moment, this new wonderful moment. You can drop every single story about every single thing. You can drop every story about every person right now. Feel the truth of those words in your body right now. In this very moment, you have the power to change everything. So we have the invitation always when we go astray. It's an invitation to come back to this holy moment and remember that the power you have is here and now. So we gently and lovingly bring ourselves back as many times as we need to throughout the day, and we won't criticize ourselves. We'll just gently and lovingly bring ourselves back and start anew. There's a poem that many of you have heard, and most people think that Ernest Holmes wrote. I typically read it a couple times a year, which is perfect for this particular class. And I dug it up before the broadcast about an hour ago. It was written by Sapphire Rose, and I'd like to read it to you now. It's entitled, She Let Go. Here it is. She let go without a thought or without a word. She let go. She let go of the fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around in her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all the right reasons. Wholly and completely, she let go without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She didn't search the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of all the memories that held her back. She let go of all the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all of the calculations about how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her daily planner. She made no public announcement, and she put no ad in the paper. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't utter a single word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her, and the sun and the moon shone forevermore. As we reflect on this beautiful poem, we're reminded that letting go is an act of surrender. It's a powerful act of surrender. It's a release of the old. It's a release of the limiting. It's a release of the heavy. And it's making way for something new and something beautiful and something transformative to enter our lives. When we let go, we create space within ourselves, space for peace. When we let go, we create a space for peace and wisdom and joy to take root at last and to flourish. And it's in this space of openness and surrender that we find the true essence of wisdom. This, of course, leads to a deeper understanding and an awareness that wisdom is not simply the accumulation of knowledge, but the application of truth in our daily living. Wisdom is about knowing that we have within us a power greater than anything we shall ever encounter in the world. This power overcomes even the most daunting challenges. You have the power to do anything you'll ever need to do. Louise reminded us that our thoughts create our reality. She often said, every thought we think is creating our future. Imagine the responsibility and the power in that statement. Every thought you think is creating your future. You have tremendous power and tremendous responsibility. None of us are victims of circumstances. We're all creators of our life. The thoughts we think right now are shaping the life we will experience tomorrow. Louise often compared the process of self-healing to cleaning her apartment or cleaning her house. And she said, you just begin wherever you are. And she would say, start with whatever thought you're thinking. Right now, start with whatever thought you're thinking and bring yourself into this moment where everything is possible. Start with whatever thought you're thinking and bring yourself into this moment where everything is possible. Visualize this, if you would, with me. Your mind is your home. Yes, your mind is your home, and every thought is an item within your home. Some thoughts bring joy and light, while others create clutter and confusion. Which of these things do you choose to keep? What will you let go of? Ernest Holmes, whose teaching also informs our work here, reminded us there is power for good in the universe and you can use it. He dramatically referred to it as our executive power. Much like the genie in the movie The Secret, who says, your wish is my command, this power is within the reach of every one of us, and it's waiting to be discovered and used. You have this executive ability. You have this authority. You may not believe it fully yet, but you have it. Deep at the center of your being, you have it. It's an infinite well of intelligence and power that will respond to you, does respond to you. It has to, because that's what it does. What we focus on expands, and what we think about consistently becomes our reality. This is why it's so really important to be mindful of your thoughts, your thinking. Every week I ask, what has it been like being you? It's important to be mindful of what your thinking is, the beliefs you entertain, the thoughts you hold. By consciously choosing thoughts that uplift and empower, by practicing living the affirmative life that we talk about, we begin to shape our lives, and we begin to shape a life that reflects our deeper desires and our highest aspirations. As we prepare to affirm these truths together, let's take a moment to ground ourselves now in this understanding, knowing that we have power available, power within to create and transform our lives. With this awareness, let us move to a time of affirmation and release, where we consciously affirm the positive and let go of anything that no longer serves us. Here's an affirmation. I affirm that the power to create my life lies within me. Again, I affirm that the power to create my life lies within me. I release any need to hold on to the past, and I embrace the power of this present moment. Okay, one more time. I affirm that the power to create my life lies within me. I release any need to hold on to the past, and I embrace the power of the present moment. So let's breathe that in. Let's take a moment for release. Many of us are holding on to some type of past event or emotion from a past, perhaps a relationship. You can search your mind for whatever it might be. Anything that might prevent us from being fully here now, fully present. Think of something you may need to release. It could be an old hurt, it might be a grudge, a fear, a resentment. Louise would say, or she would encourage us to gently let go, let go, and affirm a new idea, a new truth. So you can repeat after me if you'd like. I release all that no longer serves me. I release all that no longer serves me. I let go of old hurts and fears. I embrace the power of the present moment. I embrace the power of the present moment, knowing that my true power lies here and now. One more time. I release all that no longer serves me. I let go of old hurts and fears. I embrace the power of the present moment, knowing that my true power lies right here, right now, within me. Now feel the weight of all that you're releasing. Imagine it leaving your body, your mind, your spirit. You are lighter now and freer. You're making space, whether you know it or not, for the good that's waiting to come into your life. Now I have a little process for all of us. It won't be long, but I want you to relax. Perhaps you could close your eyes if it's safe. If not, just let them softly go downcast. So let's take a deep calming breath together. Breathe it in and exhale. Allow yourself to relax and feel at ease. As you breathe in, imagine that you're drawing in the light of love. Imagine you're drawing in wisdom, peace. And as you exhale, release any tension, any doubt, any fear that might be lingering within you. Again, breathe in this beautiful healing breath, knowing that it goes where it needs to go, heals what needs to be healed. And as you exhale, release any tension, any doubt, any fear that could be lingering within you. Now I'd like you to picture yourself standing at the center of a vast, peaceful space. This space represents your inner sanctuary where wisdom and love reside. Imagine yourself there now. Feel the warmth of this place and let it fill your heart with peace and joy. Let's take another deep breath, and as you exhale, Release any thoughts of limitation. Allow your awareness to expand. Feel the connection between your inner world and the infinite wisdom around you, the infinite wisdom of the universe. Know that you are so safe, so loved and supported in this moment. There's nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to change. Simply be present to the truth of your being. In this stillness, feel the presence of spirit, the presence of love, the presence of infinite possibility. Allow yourself to dwell in this peaceful awareness for a moment. So let's bring you back now to our collective room, knowing that all is well. I'm hoping that this lesson on life being our message and reminder of all the power you have at your disposal has kindled some wonderful things for everyone on the call today. I have an affirmative prayer that I'd like to say now for us to wrap up this part of the call. We'll be turning the cameras over to all of you very shortly. So let me begin with this affirmative prayer in the first person always. I recognize and I know that there's infinite spirit, omnipresent spirit. There's a presence. It's a presence that's never an absence. It's in all things, all people. And I give thanks for the light of joy that resides within me, knowing that it is in all of us. I acknowledge this power and this presence is within me, knowing I'm always connected to it, to this divine source. I give thanks for the wisdom, the love, the joy that flow through me, that woo me, guide me, and support me in every step. I know as I release the old and I embrace the new, that I'm open to infinite possibilities that life has to offer. And so, with gratitude in my heart, I declare that all is well, everything is unfolding perfectly in divine order, and that I am at peace. And so it is. So I'm going to now ask the camera crew to turn the cameras over to all of you, where everyone can share for a moment what it's been like being them this week, any progress that they made, or any thoughts that came up for them during the lesson this evening about your life being your message. Thursday again, what it's been like being you is the question we answer, or anything else you'd like. We're all learning to be more mindful of our internal dialogue, so feel free to share about that or anything else. If you're new, please say hello. I'd love to hear, my name is so-and-so, I'm from wherever you're from. So without further ado, thank you for being here, everyone, and we'll hear from you in just a second.